Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the case may be. People, welcome back to the channel. Anfield Index, live and exclusive to the Red Room, and Red Room, live and exclusive to the Anfield Index. How are we doing? Just when Liverpool have a bit of a downer, we then go into the dreaded international week to make it more of a downer. I don't know how you guys cope with international weeks, but I'm going to ask the panelists how they cope, how they're feeling, how they're coping with the international week and the slump of Liverpool. Is it a slump of Liverpool? Is it a disaster show? Who are the scapegoats? Who needs to improve? What do we need to do to get back on track? And is there light at the end of the tunnel? This and many more questions and opinions will be asked and given. And of course, I've got an esteemed, my favorite people, man. When you're like feeling a bit down, like I'm not well, got a bit of a cold, the weather's fluctuating down south in Luton here. I need Ben. I need Ben in my life. Ben, how are we, Ben? How are we doing? Or are you, it says red or alive. Are you dead or alive?
Fucking dead, lads. Yeah. Yeah, mate. It's not getting any easier each fucking week with these pods, lads, is it?
It started off all right.
To be honest, this is the one international break that I felt like I've needed. I feel like I needed a break from Liverpool for a little week or two. And I feel like they needed one from us. But I'm good, mate. Hope you're feeling a little bit better anyway.
Well, there's only one way to feel better, and that's talking to you guys and talking about Liverpool. Good, bad, or ugly. We love them, and we must talk about them. Mo, how are we? I know you. I like talking to you as well. You're one of my favorite guys to go to. I actually, quick little story how I found you, or you found me, or introduced to you. Spaces, Liverpool Spaces. And I remember you fighting like a whole herd of opposition fans and Liverpool fans in there as well. And I think Liverpool were going through a bit of a rough patch at that time. And I really liked your balanced and like you was like, you know that meme of
Jon Snow.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And everyone was coming for Liverpool and everyone was like, oh, you lot are finished, blah, blah, blah. And I like the way you held your own. And I thought, yeah, man, I like this. And I think I've reached out to you, messaged you, and there the love affair started. How are we? How are we feeling? Even you must be a bit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you're feeling. We haven't chatted much this week. How are you feeling about the Reds and everything right now?
Oh, it's been a horrible watch. I can't lie to you. Well, to be honest, all season we haven't looked the best, but obviously losing 3 games in a row has just been awful. And I can only echo what Ben just said. This international break, I usually don't look forward to them, but I was looking forward to this one. Just a little break away from like these results, these performances. Maybe they can sort out their heads whilst they're away, international duty. And whilst Slot's got like a little break, maybe he can just figure out what his best team is and stick to it. Ultimately, that's what I want to see going forwards. But yeah, going back to how we met, it was all one of those crazy little spaces where there's loads of rival fans, and it was during the 22-23 season where we were just appalling. We was like really bad. And they were just trying to give Klopp stick. And you know how much I love Klopp. He changed this club. So
you wouldn't have it. I remember you wouldn't have it.
No way.
Good on you. Good on you. Lou, how are we doing? Beyond the Cop, as you can see, guys, make sure you go over and check out Beyond the Cop as well. Lewis is doing great stuff. Again, someone whose content I saw, like the way he speaks about Liverpool. And yeah, the story started there as well. How are you feeling? Normally, you're a very positive guy. I've seen you always look at the bright side of things, sort of glass half full, then glass half empty. But I guess last week or so they really tested us. But do you think it's because if we just, I know it's hard, but if we just take a deep breath and sit back and calm down, we're 1 point behind Arsenal. Am I right? Is it 1 point? We're 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point.
Seven games played, and somewhere I read we've played the current top 6 teams in the Premier League, including some of our toughest aways, including Newcastle away. How are you feeling about everything?
I mean, the glass isn't full anymore because I think I've drank everything to death over the past week. But like, Look, I'm still positive. I've been doing research recently for stuff on my channel. And do you know how many games we lost at home between 92 and 2000? We lost 37 matches. Do you know how many games we lost in 2010-11? We lost 17 matches that season. I think people who are sat there saying Slot's not good enough, we need change, we need this, they need perspective, man. They need to realize how shit times have been at this club before in the past, when we were having to watch Bruno Shearu as the big signing in 2002, when we had Andy Carroll bombing up the thinking the place, or like how we've been through much worse times on. So I'm downbeat after what's happened this week, the past week, Galatasaray, Palace, Chelsea. But fucking, it could be worse. I just think there's a lot of discourse at the minute from a lot of people who are spoiled at the moment. Criticize by all means, give negative opinions if you're down, if you're stressed. But the people who are sat there going, "This is awful. Fucking hell, he doesn't know what he's doing. This is terrible." But look, fucking hell, there's been worse times. So people just need to calm it a little bit. But I'm all right. I don't know. I like the international break, me. I like England, so I'm in the element.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But Ben, do you think because we overachieved last season, and let's be honest, we did overachieve last season, right? We win the league, and then we go and act like the big dogs that we should be, and go smash it in the transfer market. Do you think it's the frustration, anger in some quarters, everything else is justified? Or do you think sometimes you need a little break, like the international break, and assess and realize and listen to the players when they talk about what they've gone through in the summer? And then you look at all the new players that have come in. How do you find the balancing act yourself personally? Because look, we're fans, we're fickle. We go mad. Me and you had arguments in WhatsApps. No, don't talk about, don't. But it's true. We that's what football fans are. We're not angels. We can't control our emotions for something that we love, because Liverpool's something we all love. And when you love something, you're passionate about it, and then your passion can go overboard either way. How do you balance things out? Because you're a bit like me, you do calm down, and then we think, yeah, okay. Like, is it because we won last season and we were... Did we fall for the media narrative? That's what I'm trying to ask you. Did we fall for it? Because they baited us into thinking, it's a walkover. Liverpool spent 400 million, Ekitike, Isak, Wirtz. Oh my God, it's all over. Did we fall for it?
Essentially. But the thing is, though, we would fall for it because we never do that shit anyway. So to us, it's like the kids at Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, look, if there's ever a club that deserves... a fan base deserves to see, them act a big club with signings, then it's definitely us, because I've watched us through some torrid fucking summer and January windows. So, for me, it's more disappointing. I go to games like yourself, Chris, and the disappointing for me is we're better than this. We're well better than this, and I think we're dog shit at the minute. And self-inflicted, you know what I mean? Let's be honest, I think we've been getting beat, and that's our own doing. None of these teams are as good as Liverpool. We're just fucking stooping down to silly levels. And I think Lou's right, people have gone over the top. But I do think some criticism is true.
Definitely. Yeah.
I do think, look, you praise them when they're doing well, and you criticise them when they're not doing well. And do you know what I feel like it is? I don't think we've took ourselves serious since we fucked off partying when we won the league. I think we need to get back to being serious. Because you wouldn't get some other clubs doing that, not during the season. I think now's the time. You mentioned before we're only 1 point behind. To me, that pisses me off even more, because we were 5 points fucking clear. So Liverpool need to waken up and liven up. We've definitely got the players to do it. Enough of this, it'll take time shit. We need to get going now, because the league stops for no one. And I definitely think this international break is good for the fans, the players, and most importantly, the manager. He's got to find his best team fast, guys.
Well, this is what I was going to segue into, right? We've all given our opinions, feelings, how we feel about the current situation. And if people haven't watched us or heard us or listened to us, you'll know that we're not really the shouting and ranting and raving and spitting in the computers type fans, right? We're just not. But then I don't think we're the type of fans that can't criticize either. and think everything's rosy in the garden and everything's hunky-dory and just support. We'll always support. There's no doubting we'll always support. But there's constructive criticism. And when I say constructive, we can't construct nothing, lads. We're just giving our opinions on a YouTube, sitting in front of a camera. But it's good to discuss, and it's good to get different perspectives. Adam says the Slot slander is stupid, though. Constructive criticism allowed through this week. 40 Mo's in the building. Judge Mo, good friend of mine. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, Mo. Make sure you guys go and check out his work as well, man. I remember watching Mo on Football Terrace about 4 years ago. Fast forward, Mo was absolutely smashing the YouTube scene on his own as well. He's been on my channel a few times as well when I used to do regular content all those years ago. But big up, Mo. I've come to you, Scouse Mo. We thought we got enough of Welsh Mo, got rid of Welsh Mo. Bloody hell.
He's watching his team get spanked.
How many Mo's is there? Soon we're going to be discussing the other Mo as well.
Welsh Mo, Scouse Mo, too many Mo's.
You was a massive, huge defender of Klopp, as I said. That's when we started talking and everything else, right? Where are you with the criticism of Slot? Because we know how our club works. He didn't sign these players per se. Like they were sourced, and we know the football how it works, right? Within our club, he has an input, but he doesn't have the final say, right? But he's inherited that squad. He wins the league with that squad. Do you get certain fan bases, certain media outlets questioning him, saying, "Oh, well, that was Klopp's team," like they're doing with Arteta? That was Emre's team that won the FA Cup. Let's see what Arteta does. But our difference is Arteta has been 5 years on from that, 6th year, and still haven't won anything. Is the comparisons fair?
I don't think it's fair because the team that he inherited, which was Klopp's team, didn't win the league. Slot won the league. That's the main difference. One thing that he definitely did do is shore up our defence, shore up all the leaky goals that we were conceding. The season before he joined, I remember we kept on going 1-0 behind continuously. It seems to be like every game before he kicked off, we was already 1-0 behind. And then the season he came in, he showed up the defence. We was a lot more calm, a lot more astute on the ball. And that led us to some great results in the early part of the season. And I find it rather bizarre and strange that this season he's gone away from that. Don't get me wrong, I love Klopp and I love Slot, but no manager is immune from criticism. If I see things that are like a little bit off from my perspective, then any fan should be entitled to call it out. Obviously, they're not going to listen to us. They don't know me. Who am I? I'm no one. But like, I can only voice it, and these are the kind of spaces where you can voice it and get it off your chest. Ben invited me to his channel yesterday, and I felt a lot better after I spoke with Ben, and I feel like I'm going to feel a lot better today. I think you touched on the transfers, and in the summer, it was the best transfer window we've ever had. Like, we smashed the British transfer record twice just after winning the league. It was mental. But I think maybe we were a little bit too excited, because when you think about it now, some of the profiles of these players, I don't know how it's going to fit. And I feel like this is going to be the challenge that Slot has. Because if you think about it, Wirtz, Ekitike, Isaac, all three of them have one thing in common. They love that left half space. Ekitike is a striker, but potentially the position he's going to have to play is left wing. That also, I find that as a little bit questionable. Kirkes, the signing of Kirkes, although I wasn't the biggest fan of him, I think his best attribute is bombing up and down that left-hand side. We've hardly seen him do that this season. We've seen.
Well, we're gonna get into the individuals that we, or the fans, or whoever, different platforms.
But specifically when it comes to Slot, I won't talk about the players, but specifically when it comes to Slot, he's done a lot of questionable things. I think, first of all, he needs to pick a team and just stick with it.
Yeah.
He needs to stop changing a defender whenever they get a yellow card. Just trust them that they can stay professional on the pitch and not pick up the second yellow, because that's really frustrating. The substitution the other day of Endo just was the most bizarre thing I think I've ever seen him do. And I still can't believe he did that substitution. And there's a lot of things he needs answering for, but I'm hoping that this international break has came at a perfect time where he can sit down with his coaching staff and just come up with the perfect formation, team, balance that can lead us on to at least the next international break, because we've got 7 games in 21 days. It's going to be a huge challenge. But he needs to figure this out, because if we continue the way we've been playing all season, not just the past 3 games, but all season, Arsenal could potentially just run away with it. But also, after the last international break, we were all like, yeah, we're going to run away with it. We're 5 points clear. And Arsenal are done for after they, I think they lost to us, isn't it? They're done for. And now it's the other way around. Everyone thinks, but a lot of people, the general
narrative. You're right.
And now the general narrative is that Liverpool are dead in the water. We're not, and Arsenal are going to run away with it. This is football. Cycles will happen.
100%. It's way too early to call it anyway. Look, people struggle when you give an opinion that isn't always pro-Liverpool. So I personally think I make Arsenal favourites for the title. Does that make any difference whatsoever to what's actually going to happen to Liverpool? No. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that I'm absolutely clueless and haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, and we win the title. But taking into consideration all the changes and everything else and the continuity of their team added to the 300 million they've spent, whereas we've totally changed our lineup. 4 or 5 of our team is brand new, and also we spent 100 million pound more. I think it negates that extra spend. Lewis, where are you with this? With the Slot needs to find a team, because now we need to find solutions. We know what the problems have been, but moving forward, we need to fix this. We need to get out of this rot, this slump, however you call it. And obviously, we got that team across the road coming over. What does Slot need to do moving forward in the next few games, in your opinion?
Like you said, pick a team. Stop playing players in positions that are makeshift. You've got a midfielder at right back. You've got a right back at right wing. You've got a striker on the left wing, a number 10 on the left wing. Like, you've signed players for specific positions on this team, and they're playing anywhere but those positions. And then it's square pegs round holes. And I think that for Slot, who last season you look at him and you thought, right, we saw what he did with Quansah as an example. He was awful in that Ipswich match, immediately got dropped. You've then got Konate there, who's stinking up the place. And I know that we've got no real backup, and I know that we've got Leone's injured and Gakey didn't come. If he's being this shit, drop him out, put Gomez in if you absolutely need to. There's options there that we can use. You've got players like Salah at the moment, who is not doing well at all. And you've got Chiesa there, who's performing whenever he's playing, who's actually making an impact when he's coming on the pitch. And he's sitting on the bench and doesn't even get a minute. You've got Cody Gakpo, who, as much as Neil Mellor wants to sit there and say, oh, he's brilliant against Chelsea. Yeah, he got a goal, but he didn't do much else beyond that. And then you've got this young lad in Rio Ingamoa, who was the brightest spark against Newcastle when he came on, who would have been perfect against Atletico Madrid if he'd started that match. You've got him there and you're not utilizing him. It's like there's plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, there is no plan B. There is no option of what you do afterwards. And it's not like we can't say we haven't got depth. You've got Curtis Jones there. You've got Florian Wirtz, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch. You've got more attacking options than most teams in the Premier League, and they're good quality players. But I just don't feel like he trusts the players in the positions that he's actually signed them for. Frimpong is a prime example. He's been brought in as a right back. He is not a right winger. So why is he being played up top ahead of Chiesa in those situations? You've got Conor Bradley as your backup right back. Why are we sticking to Szoboszlai there? Because he played well against Newcastle and Arsenal. Like, he didn't have to defend against Newcastle because they targeted Kerkez. It's just little things like this. And Slot is, I'm not sitting here saying Slot's wrong in what he's doing. I know sod all about football tactics. I'm not going to lie. But it's just obvious things that you just look like that and just think, if you've somehow made your squad weaker, or you've signed players for the wrong positions after all this money spent, why did we spend it? Like, it just feels like it was more of a sort of, get the fan base on board, spend all this money, bring in these big name players. And the more I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, could we have kept Diaz? Could we have kept him? Could we have kept, Quansah? Did we need to sell him? It's just so many questionable decisions because of the benefit of hindsight. But with all that being said, if you look at the situation we're in now, where you think, right, we need to turn this around. We've got big games coming up. We're in a title race. Look at the depth we've got to be able to figure out a solution. This isn't like 17-18, 18-19, where if Salah wasn't in the team, your backup was Shaqiri. if there was no Firmino, your backup was Origi. No disrespect to them, but we've got world-class quality players ready to jump in. And if we can't find a solution with that depth of player, with that caliber of player, then a few months down the line, I'll say, right, there's an issue here. But we have options and players there to make it work, and I'm confident that we can find a way to get around it.
Ben Lewis makes a couple of points that I want your opinions on that, because this is serious then. He's suggesting, and a lot of people have been suggesting, in fact, when I asked what shall we talk about in the WhatsApp, Welshmo was asking the question as well in the chat. I shout out Welshmo still. Last week he came out with a classic one about we need to go back to basics and play a diamond with two up front, which we've never done in the history of Liverpool. So great basics, Mo. Shout out, Mo. We love him really. He's what a human being he is. He's an absolute top guy. Ben,
top guy.
Ben, we spent a lot of money. You was excited. You was very happy. We're acting like the big dogs. I remember you saying we need marquee signing. We ended up getting 3 marquee signings pretty much, if you put Kitty in there as well, right? But like Lewis says, with the benefit of hindsight, and be honest with me, did we do too much? I mean, did we change too much? Did we need to do too much? And this is the question that everyone's asking. Did we buy the wrong profile of player? And if so, what would you have done different with the benefit of hindsight? Or sod all that, we're good, it will come good, and everything's fine.
I understand the majority of the signings. I think, look, if you talk about the number 10,
go for them.
If you look, to sign the fullbacks, we don't need to obviously go into them as much just yet. But Liverpool, if you're building a team, you want your creativity up the pitch, don't you? So they've obviously replaced Trent's creativity with the number 10. I get that. The one for me where I think, what were they thinking of it? Because I found it hard that we signed 2 number 9s. Do you know what I mean? I think the Ekatike signing was done because they weren't 100% sure they'd got Isak. That's personally mine. And it obviously came late, didn't it? So they weren't willing to risk it and go without.
Jota might have affected that as well.
Yeah.
They might have been keeping him.
Yeah. The problem is, now they've come to a point where they're going to have to shoehorn a number 9 on the left, aren't they? In my opinion, that's the route that they're going to have to go. The problem is we've signed the number 10 situation. And I think this is what's pissing me off with he said Klopp then. Slot is, I don't think he has a clue how to deal with the number 10, because I think he's making so many mistakes with Wirtz. He comes into the game, for instance, the other day, and then what does he go and do? He takes the player out of the team who was the one giving him the ball, Alexis McAllister. You mentioned the substitution before, Mo. Endo, I still can't get that round my head. And that cost Liverpool a game. Simple as that. Liverpool lost the game on the basis, for me, of that substitution, because it just turned the game on its head again. But with regards to the signings, no, I think there's a plan with them. But I don't think the manager signed them, Grizz, because his job title says a lot of it, doesn't it? He's a head coach. And could you imagine him, Grizz, going, I want fucking Wirtz, I want Isak, blah, blah, blah. There's not a chance. But I think this was the summer of Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes making a statement to everybody. This was their summer. And I'm not being funny. Arne Slot, after winning the Premier League, was fucking jumping up and down in the summer when he seen the list of names that Liverpool were going for. He couldn't have fucking believe this is in his wildest dreams. Do you know what I mean? As any manager in world football would be. It will take a bit of time. But my issue is not the signings. The manager needs to fucking stop chopping and changing these lads. Because in my opinion, Grizz, talking of the right back and left back, he's played them out of form, in my opinion. Especially the 2 right backs. Both of them look like they couldn't even fucking pass wins, never mind pass the ball. Do you know what I mean? And I think this 45-45 shit, no footballer in world football.
Yeah, just really quick question, because it's a really good point, but do you remember a few weeks ago Slot made that point of saying, look, last season around the PSG Newcastle match, I didn't change enough and it affected us. Do you think he's maybe a bit scarred from that and he's thinking, fuck, I've got to rotate these lads if I want to push for more trophies?
100%, but last year they were a settled team. These are new lads. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And lads, you've mentioned it before. Why is the fucking right back at right wing? Why is the centre midfielder at right back? Do you know what I mean? We've brought in a left back who's used to bombing down the pitch. He's now playing an inverted fucking full back role.
Yeah, but guys, can I step in a little bit?
In my opinion.
I'm just going to slightly defend Slot here in terms of if he continues to do this, then I think the point's very valid. But I think with the injuries, and you got to remember, Bradley and Frimpong were out at the same time. They both got injured at the same time, pretty much both for the same amount of period of time as well, and they've come back looking like amateurs. So his hand was forced to play Szoboszlai. Now,
I get that. I do get that point.
Yeah. So if Szoboszlai continues to play right back, when them two, after the international break, we expect them to have a, God willing, clean bill of health, right? Fully fit. They've had their rough patch. They've had their coming back from injury patch. I'm expecting Frimpong and Bradley to really pick up their games, right? Let's just start with them two for now. If he continues to do that, then I'm with you on the what's going on here. Why did we spend money on Frimpong then? Even if it was nothing, like 30 million in the modern day, whatever. That is nothing. Could we have spent that 25, 30 million on a Diaz replacement? Could we have spent that on a bloody Mark Gahey? Give that extra money to Mark Gahey and do it with a centre-back, right? But I'm willing to check it out for the next 3-4 weeks. Mo, in your opinion then, because Ben's basically said, like, Slot is the issue for now because it's his role, it's his responsibility to find a formation that works. I agree. I think he went overboard with the 2 number 9s, but I really agree with this fella. Pratham says, I think the players were brought in with the future in mind, like Isak and Wirtz feel like the plan post Salah for creativity and goals. So, Ben said we tried to replace Trent's creativity with Wirtz. I think we've not only tried to replace with just Wirtz, because Trent was that much of a, say what we want, but he was a genius in terms of build-up and creativity. I think we've done Frimpong and Wirtz to try to replace Trent. But it's a total different way of different profile of player, isn't it?
Yeah, and I get your points as well, Grizz, but that Galatasaray game, I was in complete disbelief when I seen Frimpong playing right wing and Szoboszlai playing right back. Yeah. I just couldn't believe it. And when that team news came out, I was honestly thinking, what's Szoboszlai doing on right wing? And then when the game kicked off, he's playing playing right back. So you can't defend that with Slot. So clearly he doesn't trust Frimpong in that right back position. That just shows me that he doesn't trust him in that position. And then that leads me to question, why was he bought? Why did we think about buying Frimpong if the manager doesn't want to play him at right back? What was the reason behind it? Because maybe he was cheap? Because he was quite cheap. He was like 30 mil. That really, really frustrated me.
Yeah, but wasn't that, again, I'm going to sound like a top red here, but wasn't that to rest Salah? That was the only time midweek to rest Salah.
Let it be, but I'd rather just play Frimpong at right back as the right back that you bought and just play Szoboszlai right wing, or play a different formation where maybe you can play Szoboszlai as like a right midfielder as opposed to a right winger. There could be so many different solutions. It's a lad that you've bought to play right back, and instead you've played him right wing and you've put your midfielder at right back. That for me is mental. I'm not having that. I don't want to see that again. If both of them are on the same team sheets in the future, I'm hoping and praying that Frimpong's playing right back because that's where he was purchased for. And then again, I'm not defending Frimpong because when he came on against Crystal Palace, he was arguably our worst player on the pitch. He was abysmal. Like, he was really, really bad. He couldn't pass a ball 2 yards. He was just diabolically bad. But then even when he played right wing, he only had one skill. Kick it to the byline and try and cross it with his pace. Didn't do nothing else. So
yeah, but is there again, moving forward, looking ahead, when Salah goes AFCON, I genuinely believe that's where Frimpong's playing.
And he has mentioned it in the past, and he's obviously shown it that he can play right wing, and Slot has decided to play him right wing. So when Salah goes on AFCON duties, then most likely, he will play at right wing. Does it fill me with confidence? Not really, I must be honest. I don't think he's the best right winger. I don't even think he's the best right back. I'm a little bit confused with Frimpong. I was confused with the signing, and I'm confused with his position. I think his best position is where he played with Leverkusen as like that right wing back. But that is something that he needs to figure out. But I agree with the rest of your points that he has had a couple of injuries, slowly bleeding these players into the team. I don't know if you want to go on to the scapegoating part, but Yeah, okay. You continue from there. I'll just pause there then.
You so badly want to get
because there's one guy that's on the top of my lip. Pause. That's mad. But like the someone that I want to mention.
Well, okay. Well, I was going to go to Lewis to start off with, but I see your passion. I feel your passion.
I want to hear Mo. Yeah.
We've done. Okay, so we've done the ultimate. Like when I say the ultimate, it starts from the top, and we've talked about Slot and what he needs to do, and I think we all agree that he has to find his strongest team. Do you remember? I think he doesn't know it. Remember I said it about 3-4 weeks ago. He doesn't know his strongest team. I genuinely still don't think he knows that, and I don't think we've put our strongest team out there yet. In fact, I don't know. I think if we all picked our version of strongest 11s, I think they'd all be different. Probably. Honestly, and that's mad because we used to know a Liverpool team back of our hands, just like that. All right, scapegoat time. We're going to do what Twitter does. Unfortunately, we're going to bring Twitter to YouTube and pick our scapegoats for the season so far. One player you're only allowed to pick, and I need you to speak on him. What you do with him, formation-wise, substitution-wise, kick him out, sell him, persevere with him. I need one scapegoat from all of you. Go, Mo.
Go on. For me, it's a player that was probably my favourite player after Salah last season. And I love him to bits. I think he's incredible. It's McAllister. I just can't believe what's going on with McAllister this season. That goal that Caicedo scored, you got these weirdos online blaming it on Van Dijk. But just watch McAllister. He's walking. He got beat by Caicedo and then he's just walking. Just letting him, Caicedo take all the time in the world.
No. That's him sprinting.
Fairs. That's him sprinting. But he, like the McAllister that I knew was very robust in a challenge. He would always go into a challenge. He's not the biggest guy ever, but like he would go into a challenge. He was quite aggressive. His passing ability was fantastic. Passing through the lines was fantastic. But then all of a sudden now, he's a lot more timid with his challenges. We can't build up play anymore because McAllister can't pass a ball 5 yards. I'm like so confused watching McAllister. It looks like he can't run. He looks like he can't pass. He looks like his confidence is absolutely gone. And genuinely, I don't know how Slot is not seeing this because he picks him all the time. I don't know if you can recall, Grizz, a couple of weeks ago when we was on Ben's show before the Everton game. And I was saying, look, you were all thinking McAllister won't play. And I was like, don't be surprised if he starts.
No, I said he's going to start. I said he's going to come
Well,
in.
there you go. I was like, I guarantee this lad will start. McAllister will start this game. And lo and behold, to all our shock, he started. I'm just hoping and praying right now against Man United, he doesn't play. For me, it has to be Jones. And that also might be a little bit controversial because you're thinking, I don't want to play Szoboszlai at right back. But then where you're going to play him is next to Gravenberch. I don't think that's his best position neither. I think Szoboszlai's best position is in that 10 role where Wirtz is playing, but then you can't drop Wirtz because you bought him for 116 million. So there you've got a conundrum. Because in my opinion, if McAllister's not fit and firing, you need to bring in the next person who's the best on the ball, and that's Jones. Jones can make us tick. Szoboszlai won't make us tick. Szoboszlai will give us energy and pressing and endeavour and resilience. But with Jones, he's going to give you composure on the ball. He's going to give you control on the ball. He's going to he's going to soak up the atmosphere a little bit, like slow down the game, 100%. Speed up the game, which McAllister does on another level compared to Jones. But right now, the way that McAllister's playing, it's way below Jones's level. Every time we've seen Jones come onto the pitch this season, we've looked like the better team. And I am advocating for Jones to start this game against Manchester United. If it doesn't happen, then I am going to be furious for Slot. I'll be honest with you. But we've already seen evidence when we played Burnley after the international break. We were all shocked that McAllister started that game. Why was it not Jones? This time, Jones has to start. He didn't go international break. He's been training with the club for the last 2 weeks. If he's not in that starting lineup next to Gravenberch with Wirtz in the 10, it's mad because Szoboszlai's probably been our best midfielder this season. But in my opinion, he doesn't get into our starting 11. It has to be Jones.
We're not going to go into the lineups for United. We'll do that on next week's show. We'll have an assessment of the players that come back from international duty, etc., etc. Mo's been reading my notes, and he's picked out McAllister as a scapegoat.
I think it's probably everyone's.
Lou, who's your scapegoat?
Is this the person who I'm like pissed off with? So
yes. Yeah. Personal preference. The most preference.
Do you know what? It's the most. I think it's the most cliche one at the minute. I'm sick of Cody Gakpo getting that ball And the first instinct every single match, no matter what the attacking is, no matter how we play, is always get it, stop, go inside. I'm sick and tired of you've got a left back who's been signed specifically to attack, to overlap, to go out wide and create space. And no matter how many times he runs into that position, no matter how many times he finds that space, Gakpo will cut inside. You are not Robben. You are not one of these incredible wingers who can pick up the ball, come inside and have a shot at goal and make it go in. He always passes it short. It either goes to the midfielder who's running into space, who then stops it dead and passes it to Salah and we go back and forth, or it goes back to the defenders. When Slot came in, how many of us were sat there going, oh my God, he's going to make Gakpo into that incredible left winger we see for the Netherlands? He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. And do you know what? I was one of the people who I didn't want us to lose Diaz or Gakpo this summer. I said I want to keep them both. And when Diaz left, I went, right, I get it. 60 million quid, 2 years left on his deal, near his 30s. I miss having a winger who actually just runs at people. That's why I was shitting my pants when Ingamoa was like getting promoted into the team, because I thought, oh my God, there's someone who's actually going to take on a defender. Gakpo this season does not do it. And I was going to get stats and stuff and be like, oh, you know, he's bad at this, he's bad at this. They're actually quite high. The reason they're high is because he comes so deep to win the ball, runs with it for so long, and then gets to the end and just stops. And it annoys me so much that we've got Isak, Ekitike, and Wirtz, who are looking for a winger at the moment who can create for them, who can find space, who can go in behind and square it to them. And it's just not coming. It's not coming from him and it's not coming from Salah at the minute. But at least Salah will try and pass the ball in behind to Frimpong if he's overlapping. At least he will try and find the ball over the top to someone like we saw against Atletico Madrid. Gakpo doesn't do it, and it's just exhausting to watch because that I understand that's how Slot wants him to play. I completely get that it's very system-based. But sometimes you just need to look at a team and think, right, I'm having a go at them. That Atletico Madrid game, I keep saying it, Engamoa would have thrived in that first half because they were so open, and Gakpo doesn't exploit it, and it's infuriating to see.
And the funny thing is, I genuinely think Gakpo is capable of beating his man, because, you know, guys, there's this myth that he's slow. He's actually not, you know. Statistically,
just a lazy bastard.
He's rapid. I don't know if it's lazy, Ben. I think it's his decision making.
He's just thick, lad. That's what it is. He's a thick bastard.
Do you know what his win percentage is of take-ons against defenders this season? It's 26%. Like, you know, this is an international massive name of a winger, and he's getting beat every single time he even attempts to run at someone. Just come on now. People saying he scored a penalty. Great. Fucking, I've saw Ricky Lambert score penalties. Doesn't make him a good striker. Just come on now.
Ben, your scapegoat game week 7, is it? After game week 6 or 7, wherever it is. Who's pissed you off the most? I know there's probably about 7, but you can only pick one.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for because, you know, Mo's gone, Maka, Lou's gone, Gakpo. I'm going to go the other fucking winger who I think's been abysmal for Liverpool this season, Mo Salah. We know what he delivers. But you know what? This is a part of the problem where I think Slot's got it wrong with the new players. He's still trying to play the old way and letting Mo have this free run. And I love Salah. I'm his biggest fan. But right now he isn't worthy of playing week in, week out at the minute if this is the performance he's going to play. And it kills me to say that. You know, I travel all over with them, Grizz, like you do. And, you know, he's given me some of the best days of my life. Now he's given me some of the fucking worst 90 minutes of my life. Because if I'm going to watch him not pass to these fucking number 9s and 10s and just balloon it over the bar, Liverpool won't do fuck all this season if that's the case. And I just think, like, I understand he's not disappointed, that's the wrong word to use. He's emotional from what's happened in the summer, and I totally understand that. And we all are. But if he's not right, take him out the team then. You know, let someone else play in there who is a bit more in a right headspace, you know, because we can't be carrying passengers. We've got the biggest target on our back this year. When you win the league title, they're all coming for you. Everyone celebrates wins against us like it's a cup final, so we need to be on the ball even more so than ever. And I think Mo this year, if he's not delivering, he hasn't got much to offer at the minute, because he's certainly not going around the pitch winning the ball back. He's now not getting back. You know, we had the show last night, Mo. You know exactly what we talked about him. and we loved the fella. But as of right now, I'm seeing him. Doesn't look as arsed as much. Do you know what I mean? It was like, but is it caught up to him a bit? Maybe. Do you know what I mean? He can be in the gym all he wants, but his age doesn't slow down, and potentially that could be something that is catching up. We watched Gerrard. Gerrard talked about where he couldn't even get past players that he knew he was quicker than. He knew the time was closing in. But I think this year for Mo, he's got to get stuck in more, because I can't watch him walking around the pitch. He looks like you may as well stick a road cone out there, because it'll do as much the same thing as him. And I think, for instance, he's fucking some of these assists that Florian Wirtz should have. 99% of them have nearly fell on him, and he's fucking missed them.
It's interesting, guys. I've asked you for 3 disappointment, scapegoats, whatever you want to call it, anger, players that have given you anger or whatever, right? And we started off the show talking about the new recruits. But have you noticed each one of you have spoken about the old ones in the team, the experienced players in the team?
Who's your one, Grizz?
Maka. I was going to say Maka as well. Like, Maka's ruined my season so far. Like, he was supposed to, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I've got such high estimations of him.
Disappointment is the killer, isn't it?
And
that's what I mean. I couldn't bring myself to criticize Salah. It was like the thought of giving him criticism just breaks my heart.
Well, I can't. Well, I'm going to go for Konate, and I can't bring myself to criticize Ibu, because I love Ibu. Like, I genuinely love Ibu Konate. I wish I was his best mate, one of those ones. Do you know what I mean? But he's been atrocious, lads. He's been absolutely atrocious. And of course, everyone's going to link it to Madrid. Of course, everyone's going to link it back to, his head's gone. I genuinely don't think his head's gone. No. I think Ibu's always been
a bozo.
6 months, six games brilliant, 4 games awful, then 7 games brilliant, 2 games mediocre.
He has the shitness in his locker, though, Grizz. When he's good, he's brilliant. When he's
That's what I mean.
He has the worst player on the pitch.
He has these moments. Yeah, but so does his replacement. This is the frustrating part.
He's like made out of paper. That's wet.
But not only that, we saw in the League Cup game, and I've seen Gomez all my life, right? Watching Liverpool.
He was awful.
When Gomez is good, there's like, you think, this is mini Virgil. There's nothing better. This is our reserve centre back, and he's good as anything in the country or Europe. But when he has a bad game, he can't turn it around, lads.
Yeah.
If he starts off slow, he has an absolute stinker.
And Konate is the exact same.
And this is what I'm saying. Konate seems to be the same.
And you know what it is, Grizz? A lot of people seem to forget, but the beginning of last season, I think Lou touched on it before, Konate wasn't even in the starting lineup. And the season before Klopp's last season, it was Quanta's shirt. He was dropped. Konate wasn't in the team. The reason why he wasn't in the team is because he kept on dropping stinkers after stinkers after stinkers. And it's happening again now. But unfortunately, that Leone injury was, so sad, because I genuinely believe Leone would be in the team by now. Like, genuinely believe Leone would be playing ahead of him, because he's been that poor. But I'll give him a little bit of sympathy, because it's quite difficult for him to find any chemistry when his right back's changing every 5 minutes. Yeah. It's mental.
But then aren't we giving that same level of pass to Salah as well?
Yeah, you can give it to all of them.
To a few of them.
You can give it to McAllister with it.
It's true. I mean, I said the biggest problem, and I said this 3 weeks ago, so people can go and quote me on it. I think I said it on the Red Room. I think there's a Maka and Wirtz issue problem to solve in the same team. Yeah. Now, on paper, it looks amazing, right? McAllister and Wirtz, the football, the source, the passing, the flicks, the one-touch, the vision. But putting them into a mean, pressing, energetic, strong machine-like team that you need to win the Premier League, lads, because let's not beat around the bush. When we've won the leagues, listen to this bit, though. When we've won the leagues, look at our midfields. That's all I'm going to say. The Klopp team had machines, and the Slot team, which was the Klopp team, had machines. Gravenberch, Szoboszlai played like a gegenpressing 10. He wasn't your Zola, your Bergkamp 10s. He's your gegenpressing 10. It's a new role. He was used as almost as a defensive first 10. Like, that's unique. You think about 10s and you think Wirtz, you think Bergkamp, you think Zola, you think, I don't know, modern day 10s. Come on, guys, hit me with you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Slot turned him into a pressing 10, Gegen pressing 10. And now we've totally changed it. Mane, Diaz, Nunes, say what you want about him, and even the late Jota were immense pressers.
Yep.
And now we've got Ekitike, who himself admits he's not used to it, right? He's like, whoa, we got to do so much running. Isak, half cooked. And Gakpo, Ben said he's a lazy shit. So our pressing is completely different. And you replace the machine, the Duracell bunny in midfield, with Wirtz, who doesn't want to be tired when he gets the ball because he's running around chasing it. By the time he gets the ball, he's tired.
Yeah. He's coming deeper than anyone at the minute in midfield to actually win the ball back.
Can't be
so there is issue.
I think that's our biggest issue, Grizz, the pressing. Our pressing has been diabolical all season. And
our pressing is depressing.
There's no pressing because, as you mentioned, Szoboszlai and Diaz, they were basically playing in like a 2-10 kind of formation, and they were the pressing triggers.
But that most work.
Yeah, and Diaz is gone, so we've lost one pressing trigger, and the second pressing trigger is now playing right back. You can't press from right back. Do you know what I mean? So now we've replaced them with Isaac, who, as you said, half cooked. Wirtz, who wants to, save his energy so he can create and be as fantastic as he is. He is, bless him. But he's not as aggressive or as tenacious as like a Szoboszlai, and he never will be. Like, he might run around, but he might not get the tackles.
It's not his game.
And even when we press, we don't press as a group. We press as individuals. You'll see Gakpo will go, but then you'll just see Isaac all the way down there and Salah all the way down there, not even moving an inch.
It just looks like the whole team throughout the whole team. And guys, I want your input in this as well. It looks like there's space, too much space in between all our players all over the pitch.
Yeah.
And we used to be hunting and pressing in triangles. Do you remember the Henderson, Trent, Salah triangle on that side? Do you remember the Gini, Robertson, Mane triangle on this side? There were three of the best triangles in world football, man. Like, where are those triangles? Where are those relationships now? But then the positive side, guys, and I want to try to end it on a positive note, is all these things that we've discussed, relationships on pitches, manager learning about his players, take time.
Facts.
Right? It does take time. And the more they play. But Ben, this is where we, moving forward, have to nail down a basis of a formation first and foremost, and then put those players in it. Now, I want you to show me and the viewers your T-shirt. Right? Oh, yeah. You've got a lovely little T-shirt.
If it was Gakpo, be lazy.
I can't see it, man. Just, there you go. So you have Ekitike, Isak, and Salah. Now, is that you giving cryptic clues into thinking or suggesting how you think we should start from the top?
Well, on the basis of how it's going, I may as well just lash the fucking shirt in the bin. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it?
That's good. Good way to promote you, mates.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hell. I have to just cross out him and put fucking Gakpo in.
Oh, is that the way forward, though? Can you see this? Like, he's spoken about Ekitike being able to play on the left. I'm unconvinced, lads. I'm saying it now on record. I'm unconvinced. I know a lot of you lot want it, and some of you lot are gagging for it. I'm not gagging for it. I'm going to be honest. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't like the sound of that at the moment.
Yeah. Look, he's got a difficult choice because whatever we do, it's going to be square pegs round holes, isn't it? Let's be honest. We've got to, shoehorn them all in. Yeah, it is difficult. I would like to see him out there. I don't think you're nailing him down to a left-hand side, though, Grizz. I think Ekitike and Isak, they should be told, just go and get involved wherever you may seem to be fucking free with the ball. I think one thing you've seen with Isak...
But that ruins our formation, lads. We can't be hypocrites then, guys.
I'm talking at the top. It doesn't really ruin it at the top for them too. If you've still got your shape behind them, let them do what they've got to do. remember, they're the goals in the team now. We've spoke on here, Grizz, that we're coming away from the winger side of it. Yeah, we bought 9s and 10s. There's 3 of them there that have got to play. There's a little triangle of them, isn't it? You want them on the ball. And if it means Salah being out wide, sounds, let him hold his position. But I think one thing you've realised, what I've seen in the small bits of both of the players, more so with Ekitike, I think Liverpool have got to let Ekitike do the running for Isak. And I do think he could be on the left-hand side of him. I think he's the one that can create the chances. We spoke about it last night, Mo. He's more of a chance creator than Isak. You want there's one man, obviously Salah's another. But at the minute, Salah looks like he couldn't fucking hit the side of his own house. Do you know what I mean? If the ball drops in the box, there's only one man in that front line you want it to drop to right now. It's Isak. You know he'd bury it straight away. He's only had the odd little shot. I'm not talking about Mo at the minute before people get on me back. I'm not fucking stupid, do you know what I mean? You've seen in the limited chances with Isak, he's nearly scored on every one. That's the type of strike. We bought an absolute demon down the middle. What we're doing right now, we may as well not even have him because we're not giving him enough. If you didn't give Haaland enough, you've seen it last year, you may as well have had the fucker sat on the sidelines. But for me, I don't think there's another formation that he can really go to unless the personnel changes. We know how effective the 4-3-3 has been for us. That was our pressing machine formation, wasn't it? The 3 behind the 3. All of them would just go and hound the back 4 when they got the ball.
But we haven't got the personnel for that now.
We haven't. But this is what Mo said before. If they needed to, for instance, in AFCON, if we're still struggling with the press, I think you've got to have Szoboszlai off the pitch. He's not going to be able to do anything for you at the back of the pitch. He's in the back right-hand corner. That's no good to him. I wouldn't mind seeing him on the right-hand side. I know it's not the perfect position for him, but his best strength is up there, isn't it? You want him leading the press. I think Szoboszlai's biggest trait is getting others involved with him to go and look for the ball. I don't think... The problem is, if he was an unbelievable midfielder, Chris, would he be playing right-back? No. Do you know what I mean? And vice versa. If he was an unbelievable right-back, he wouldn't be playing that midfield. Do you know what I mean? 4-2-3-1 probably is the only formation the manager's going to go. They're all stubborn, the managers these days, Chris, so he's not going to go away from it. So, in my opinion, get your best players on the pitch and go for it, and let's see how we go. But it is difficult. It looks a bit mismatched, but if it works, we'll be fucking flying and beat that fucking Arsenal shite. All I can say, fuck them, do you know?
The main man's in the chat. He says, big shout out to the panel, everyone in the chat. You know the drill. Smash the like button up there for Ring Reds. That's Welshmo. Nick someone's profile pic. Just to make himself look good, as usual. That's definitely someone else's profile pic. But yeah, shout out Mo. I'm joking. I love winding him up. Mo.
Yeah.
Like a TK wide left. Who would we describe in the modern day in game how he would play that left-sided role? Because I agree. I think they both need to be on the pitch at times. I think moving forward, we have to try to way of putting them both on the pitch. Now, when you've got this type of strikers and the vert type of 10, the obvious way of playing is 4-3-1-2, right? So 3 midfielders, Verts in the hole behind the 2. But that leaves out Salah. Moving forward, when Salah's at AFCON, I think is a formation we may go to. And obviously post-Salah. But if we don't play that 4-3-1-2, and then we can use Kerkez and Frimpong as our auxiliary wingers, which they're supposed to be effing. They're not supposed to be inverted. And a few people are asking about the inverted Kerkez role, which is baffling as well. It's absolutely baffling. If he doesn't use the 4-3-1-2, which I don't think he will, maybe AFCON he will, are you in favor of, like Ben says, put them on the pitch and then work our way around them? Or are you still thinking, no, we can only play one of them in the current setup and formation?
I think I'm leaning more towards what Ben said. Like with the players that we've got, that 4-2-3-1 probably makes the most sense. The only other alternative could be playing a 4-3-3 and then actually put on Vert as a left winger and not like that weird left 10 thing that he was doing against Crystal Palace, like an actual full-on left winger.
Yeah, but then you have to leave out one of the 9s then.
So this is what I was going to come to. I don't think we're going to see Isak and Ekitike on the pitch at the same time because it's a huge risk. No. If one of them gets injured, you got no backup striker at all. And say, for example, God forbid it happens, but say Ekitike gets injured and Isak's still trying to get up with his fitness, and then something happens to Isak after that, then we're completely screwed. So in this meantime, I think definitely in the next few couple of weeks, we might not see both of them on the pitch at the same time. So it's going to have to be one or the other. Maybe we might see in the odd game towards the end of the this little break that we've got, or this little block of fixtures. Then we might see both of them playing at the same time. But I don't think he'll risk it. And I think it is a huge risk to take to play both of them at the same time. And that goes back to my point that I was saying before. If the plan was to play Ekitike as a left winger, then why didn't we just go and sign a proper left winger and then pick between Ekitike or Isaac as a striker? And that's what I don't understand. Like, obviously, hindsight's a beautiful thing, but come on. Seriously, if the plan all along was Ekitike left wing, Isaac up front, makes no sense. Why are we playing a striker and a left wing? Square pegs round holes.
I don't think it was the plan.
It can't be the plan, and I hope it's not the plan, to be honest. And I still don't know what the plan is for both of them, because I want
to. I said it was like they got Ekitike because they weren't 100% sure that they'd get it.
Yeah, you did. And
this is what's baffling, though. We don't usually operate like that, guys. Like, especially at the prices that we ended up paying, or the prices that we paid. Like, we can't be thinking like that. I don't know, and I don't know. None of us know, really. We're just speculating and guessing here. That seems to be a bit of a scrambled thinking, man. Like, where are we going to play Ekitike? There must be a master plan. And I want to come to you, Lou. What is this master plan then? Because, yeah, Ben's saying play them, and I want them on the pitch because you're right. The future goals is coming from Ekitike and Isak. Stop relying on Salah. Salah is a club legend and one of the greatest players to ever don the shirt. And he's an absolute icon, legend, hero. What's that? The mountain.
Mount Rushmore.
He's on the Mount Rushmore, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But we have to look past him now. The future is in Isak, Ekitike, and Wirtz. Lewis, you have to find a formation with all three of them, or two out of the three every week.
You've asked someone who's shit with tactics to try and figure out a way of this. Look, when we signed Salah on that 2-year deal and Van Dijk on that 2-year deal, it wasn't so that we could say, right, keep them here 2 years, they're going to be great, and then we'll just extend again. These 2 years were specifically designed to find who comes next and who is the next player to take over from them. I don't want to see Ekitike on the left. I don't want to see Isak on the left, personally. I think Ekitike and Isak have been brought in to rotate around each other. I don't think there's a way where realistically, unless you're scrapping the concept of wingers altogether, they both start. Because then, like Mo said before, there is no one behind them who can come in and fill that role. You're going to have Chiesa playing as a number 9. You're going to have people in square pegs round all different positions. I just think they've. I know it sounds.
I've got PTSD. Do you remember Nunes playing and Jota playing on the left? I used to hate it. I used to absolutely hate Nunes and Jota on the left. Now Ekitike, yes, is more tricky. He's got more about him than Jota and Nunes had as a winger. You can see Ekitike being more creative, like Ben said.
Yeah.
Still won't suit his game, though, guys. He's a penalty box prowler. He runs in behind. He can drift left. I don't want him starting left, if you know what I mean.
Isak did it against Southampton. He drifted out left. They all do. They all rotate. They don't. You can't stick a striker. You can't bring someone in who's played a striker his whole career. Bring someone else in who's played the striker his whole career, and then go right left winger. It worked with Diaz coming as a number 9 because it was a temporary fix. You can put James Milner left back as a temporary fix. It's not a permanent solution. Sometimes you need those stopgap options, but you can't sign 2 top-level strikers and make one of them play out of position in a zone they're not comfortable with because you need to try and find a way to just cram them all in. You look at Chelsea now, and I'm not comparing us to Chelsea in that sense, but like sign, bring him in, make it work, stick them all in the team, it'll just stick together. We've signed 2 big quality strikers who are there to rotate around each other. We haven't signed 2 expensive players, 2 of our most expensive ever players, just to stick them in positions that they're not used to playing. If you've signed these 2 strikers, they're there to rotate with each other because the aim is to go far in every competition. If there's games where Isak needs a rest, games where he's injured, you can put Ekitike in and vice versa. If you need wingers, bring in wingers. Don't bring in players in other positions. If you need a left winger, buy a left winger. If you need a right winger, buy a right winger. Don't get a striker and convert them into a winger.
Apparently, Gakpo's cut inside and shot and scored.
He heard me. Good man.
So,
Good man.
all right. Here's a solution. Always rely on Grizz Khan to give you the solution at the end of the show. Post Salah, in like AFCON, Grizz Khan propose back four, right, normal, and then I propose Frimpong right wing, Wirtz left wing, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in midfield, and Ekitike and Isak up front. 4-4-2. Watch him play that in post-con, and we will discuss it in AFCON. Watch him play that, people. He's going to play Frimpong right wing, Wirtz left wing side, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and Frimpong, and the back four as it is, and then Isak and Ekitike up front. But until then, let's see what we got in store. Next week, we will do a more detailed preview looking forward. We're not going to look back. This was the last look back show, guys. It's time to stop. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, Liverpool forums, up and down the country, the world. It's time to stop. I think we've done our fair share of moaning and groaning, and fairly as well. We've criticized the team. We've criticized Slot. We praised them in the opening 6 games when they won 6-7 on the trot, but they've not done themselves proud. Forget us. They've not done themselves proud in the last 3 games. So it's time to stop. It's time to back the lads. It's time to back this manager and move forward, upwards and onwards. And we're going to do that on next week's Red Room, because we're going to look forward to that game. And that game is Man United at home. And if that doesn't get you lot up, nothing will. People, I want to thank Lou. I want to thank Ben. I want to thank Mo and all of you that have subscribed, liked the channel. And nothing left more to say than go watch Gakpo score his hat-trick after we've slated him all show. The Dutch clutch. And peace, love, and tranquility to you all.